For the next hour, we'll be learning some things that you probably didn't know about Minecraft. Make sure you guys comment down below if I missed anything. Number one!
Color depending on the biome, but in Bedrock
I did know that.
it gets even stranger. If you
Well,
can mix
how?
water in the Nether, it'll be red.
Okay, wait a second. That is so cursed. If you put water in the Nether in Bedrock Edition, it actually turns red, which should never happen.
It's impossible to ride baby animals? Psych! When baby pigs
Really?
were first added to Minecraft, you could saddle them up and
Okay,
ride on
that
top.
is
Move
not
quicker.
right.
Okay,
You
I
should
see
not
why
be able
this
to do
was
that.
removed. Illagers love to kill villagers, but they actually
Of course.
have a wholesome side. Illagers will avoid killing the babies.
Oh, that's nice. I mean, Minecraft is owned by, Mojang and Microsoft, so it makes sense that they probably shouldn't kill babies. That would be kind of sad and scary.
You're safe today. Oh, I'm sorry. You can use diamonds
dead.
as fuel. If you
Wait,
just try
what?
to put diamonds in themselves, it won't work. However, jukeboxes actually cost 1 diamond to craft,
Oh.
and those can actually be used as a fuel. That is such a waste, though.
Yeah,
What
you
would a
should never
shulker
do
look
that.
like without its shell? Just throw a potion of invisibility to see.
That
I see
is
why
so
you hide your
creepy.
face now. Save your old bows. If your bows are running low on durability, don't throw them out.
You can
Instead,
burn
use
them.
to craft
Oh,
dispensers. Because you
or
can use any
dispensers.
durability bow for them. There are 2
Smart.
crops that can grow in the dark. Normally, shutting the lights off won't let crops grow.
Okay, wait a second. Wait, actually, if you turn out the lights, all the crops will disappear? I didn't know that.
However, both sugarcane
I don't
and
think that's
mushroom
real.
can grow in pitch black. You may know that dispensers can place pumpkins to spawn golems or even skulls to spawn withers, but they could place another secret block. Up to version 1.8.5, dispensers can
command
place
blocks.
command blocks.
Really?
While most fish are pretty boring, salmon have a superpower. When near a waterfall, salmon can swim up to 5 blocks of water.
That is sweet. That's kind of like real life when salmon swim upstream and they can even jump out of water, and that's why you see a bunch of grizzly bears trying to capture them.
They're better swimmers than me. Minecraft's recipe book has a secret Easter egg. If you search Excited ZE in the recipe book, it changes the game's language to pirate language. How do I change this
I didn't know
back
about
now?
that.
Note blocks can play different instruments. To do so, just change the block underneath it. Wood creates a string bass, sand creates
I feel
snare
like
drum,
everybody
grass
knew
creates
this.
clicks, and clay creates flute sounds.
Comment
These
down
are
below if you
all
didn't know
the
that.
different options. If a charged creeper is given invisibility, the blue aura can still be seen. So if you stack
That's
a bunch
probably
of them
for
on
the
top
best.
of each other, you'll get this beautiful beam of light.
I
You
do
may
like
know
that. That
about
is
the
pretty
snowy
cool.
grass block, but did you know it has a secret twin? If you place snow on top of mycelium, it ends up looking just like snowy grass. And you can even see beneath
really?
it by using a debug stick. Most people don't know this, but rabbits can actually eat crops. I don't mean handing the rabbit over some carrots, but if you leave your crops out in the
What?
open, rabbits can just walk over to it and munch it down. Foxes can also do this with berry bushes. This is the
That's
most broken
crazy.
seed in all of Minecraft. It causes
Why?
everything to repeat forever. The
What?
trees and islands, glaciers,
Okay, that's
ravines,
actually
it
kind of
happens
cool.
on Java 1.15.1 on this sea. How many striders can stack on top of each other? When striders were first added in the 1.16 snapshot, there was no limit to how many striders could spawn stacked. This made it so you could find even quintuplet striders. When you put a lead on the bottom one and got on the very top one, it'd cause you to start flying
That's
upwards.
awesome.
Unfortunately, this is no longer possible.
Oh,
because
they should have
striders
left that
can
in.
now only spawn in stacks of 2. Vertical slabs are in Minecraft. By placing redstone blocks on either side of a stone wall and TNT on those blocks, the wall will stretch to look like a vertical slab. Although
What?
not too practical, it's still pretty cool. Don't go near igloos. Well, at least with the bad omen effect, because
What
some
happens?
igloos can be detected as villages. This can happen if you cure
Really?
the zombie villagers beneath the igloo. I don't have any
okay.
items. If you look at the bottom of a shulker shell, you'll see a unique spiraling pattern. But what's stranger is that a similar spiraling pattern is found on the bottom of ancient debris. Maybe that's why the shulker shell is so dumb.
that
Most
makes
items
sense.
crafted with wood use the oak texture, but not all of them. Item frames and fletching tables both use birch, while cartography
Interesting.
tables and grindstones use dark oak. Then there are barrels, which just use spruce. When you kill a strider, it for some reason drops string, but there's actually
Okay, well, that kind of makes sense. When you look at a strider, it has like the string-like hairs around it. So, I mean, it really doesn't make that much sense why you wouldn't understand it. Like, it's like saying if you had a zombie and it didn't drop rotten flesh. You would be really surprised by that, but a strider, of course it's going to drop string. It's like the hairs that are around the strider.
a really good reason for this. They drop string to explain how piglings crafted their crossbows. In Bedrock
I mean,
Edition,
yeah.
there are unused texture files named Hoglin Meet Raw. and
What?
hoglin meat cooked. They're textured identically to raw and cooked beef. Maybe they were originally supposed to drop a new type of meat. Wandering traders
That would make
always
sense,
drink
though.
invisibility potions at night, but if you kill it mid-drink, there is an 8.5% chance
What?
that the potion will drop.
I didn't know about that. The first time I saw a wandering villager, I actually thought that my game was bugged, and I didn't realize that it just drank invisibility at night, but I didn't realize you could actually yoink it and steal it. That's
Give
so
me that.
cool.
Did you know it's impossible to breed polar bears? It's one of the few animals that can't be bred, so you can only find cubs naturally in the world. You also can't breed dolphins, which is quite a shame, because I would love a dolphin army. Dolphins
I wonder why they made it like
among
that.
sea creatures because they can drown. Dolphins can't stay underwater for more than 4 minutes, or they'll take damage, and they can't stay outside of water more than 2 minutes.
That makes
They'll
sense.
die
Yeah,
as
they need to
well.
breathe
Make up
oxygen.
your mind already. You can actually send redstone signals through leaves. When wood gets attached to leaves, it actually updates the data. This is especially
sweet.
useful for sending signals upwards. This can also be done with walls because pushing a block to the side will update all the walls beneath instantly. Stairs
know
are able
that.
to
That's
shapeshift
so
to
cool.
create smooth corners, but it can also be used for wall staircases that perfectly blend right back into the wall. If you're trying to make a cobblestone generator and keep messing up, just use a mangrove root. When you put water in roots, it acts like a container. This way you can easily create a cobblestone generator.
See, I never played Skyblock in this version of Minecraft, so if you are playing Skyblock, just do that. It makes it so much easier.
Minecraft used to generate 2 block-tall obsidian walls around spawn. The walls would intersect at the center of the world, and were added for experimental purposes before coordinates were added. This is the most valuable Minecraft account. The account deadmau5 has 3D year models coming out of the skin. It is completely unique, and was a gift
nobody
from the
else has
creator of
that?
Minecraft. No.
Really?
Something pretty satisfying is that a button perfectly fits on a dropper's
Okay,
mouth.
all right, I'm
This
never gonna
is
be able to unsee
perfect.
that.
Gassed fireballs deal the most damage in the game. When you hit a fireball back at the ghast, it'll deal 500 hearts of damage to it. This is
500 hearts of damage? Wait, what?
because Mojang wanted the ghast to instantly die if the player successfully rebounded the fireball. There is one place the trap chest can generate naturally in Minecraft. You may think they are found in desert pyramids or even jungle temples, but that's not it. The only time trap chests generate naturally is in the fake and portal room in Woodland Mansions.
Yes, I did know that. I've seen that before.
Rotten flesh is almost completely useless because it gives you poison when you eat it up. But if you feed it to your dogs, they'll be perfectly fine and heal up. Beacons
That's like the oldest Minecraft trick in the book. Just save your rotten flesh for your puppies.
work if they have blocks in the way. So it shouldn't work in the nether, right? Not exactly. Because Mojang wanted it to work in this fiery dimension. So the beacon beams can actually shoot through bedrock. You probably
sick.
know that placing sand on top of TNT makes it explode underwater. But something lesser known is that other falling blocks work as well, like the dragon egg. Weighted pressure plates can be held down by item frames. If you place an item frame and then a pressure plate, nothing will happen
Okay, that is just so glitched out. Like, literally, how did they not remove that from the game yet?
first, but if you walk over it, the pressure plate will stay down.
It looks
Piglings
so bad.
hate when you steal from them. If you mine gold or even just open a chest, they'll come swinging at you. But something strange is that they'll even attack you if you even just open an ender chest. Hey, these
Yes,
are
that did
mine.
happen to me
If
before.
you rename a chest in an anvil, something really cool happens. The inventory inside will be labeled. You can also rename a command block with an anvil, and it'll output from the respective name. When you sign a book, your username will be attached to it, but by using commands, you can set the author to anyone you want. It even works with Notch. One of the least known Minecraft versions is the Pi Edition. It was made to run on small computers like the Raspberry Pi.
I do remember
but it had a
this
special
edition.
feature. Quartz blocks were added to this version before they were officially added to Java.
Yeah, there's so many different versions of Minecraft. I remember that the Pi version was an interesting one. Obviously, I played on Java, but Bedrock Edition used to be so much different than it is now.
Fire burns wood, but not this one. Note blocks are made out of wood and redstone, and it can catch on fire from lava, but never burn away. Have you ever wondered how spiders climb walls? It turns out that in the game code, spiders treat all walls like they have ladders on them. This makes a lot of sense. Everyone knows fire burns forever on netherrack, but there are 4 other blocks this happens on. The first 2 you probably know are soul sand and soul soil, which create an eternal blue flame. The third block with infinite fire is actually magma.
That one makes sense.
And the last one that is a bit more unknown is the bedrock with crystals in the end.
What?
Why were added to Minecraft? You may think it was for celebrating birthdays, but that's not it. They were actually added because Minecraft won the Indie Game of the Year award in 2010. Rabbits move by jumping up and down.
But why would they add cakes for that? I guess it was a celebration, but I mean, there's like so many other things you could have added to celebrate that.
However, when you put them on top of slime blocks, they become stuck. They can't move at all. Even the fox
Really?
comes for lunch. Minecraft
What?
is famous for its blocky 3D world, but what if it was 2D? Well, YouTuber Mr. actually created a 2D Minecraft world using data packs and plugins. There's
Yep, I think I've actually played this before. Super cool, and shout out to Mr. Cat, who is an amazing creator.
everything from parkour, zombies, placing blocks, and caves. Awesome! You can create a working mirror, sort of. Just place pigs on some stained glass, and then on the other side, you can place the pigs on top of barriers, then name them Dinnerbone. This will create an illusion of a mirror. Silverfish used to be allergic to soul sand. In versions before 1.15, the silverfish's hitbox was a bit too low and would suffocate in the slightly smaller soul sand blocks.
Interesting. I feel like that would have been cool if they kept that in, just as like an Easter egg that, you know, silverfish just can't survive on soul sand.
Mob. I used to think it was the baby chicken or even the pufferfish, which is only 0.35 blocks big, but they're both not even close. The second smallest mob is the baby turtle at 0.12 blocks, and the first smallest mob is the tadpole at 0.08 blocks. Baby mobs in Minecraft are normally friendly and don't do damage, but not baby polar bears. They're still ferocious and
They
try
are,
to kill foxes
and baby
Java
zombies
Edition.
too.
I wonder if it'll attack me. Whoops. Obsidian takes forever to mine, with even a diamond pick. But how long does it take with a fist? One obsidian takes 250 seconds to mine by hand, but if there is an elder guardian nearby, it'll take about 25.7 hours. Darn it, let me
Who tested that?
out of here. If you break the bottom of a chorus tree, all the other blocks will break, including the flower at the top.
They should add that in so that it happens with trees, because that would save a lot of time.
And if you don't want to build all the way just to break the flower, you can actually shoot arrows at it or even throw a trident to get the flower. Now I can grow even more chorus trees. In Minecraft in-depth, before crafting tables were added, how did players craft? Well, you could actually just press the B key to bring up the crafting grid. That's cheating! Why are gold tools so weak? Gold is harder to find than iron, but still seems way worse. The reason for this is because gold is a soft metal in real life. Alex and Steve can change height in Bedrock Edition. Just go into the character creator where you can select the smallest height. This seems overpowered in PvP. What would touching a creeper feel like? Well, Notch, the original creator, said that a creeper in real life would feel crunchy, like dry leaves. Ew. Villagers can actually wear armor if you use a dispenser. Doing so will let you put thorns on a villager or even a pumpkin. However, if the villager turns into a zombie, it disappears in Java Edition. No, my pumpkin! Before version 1.15, you could use the Silk Touch book to mine things, and it'll actually work, saving you tool durability. This could also be done with a fire aspect book to light mobs on fire.
That is kind of a cool thing to have, where the actual enchantment book has the enchantment that you're going to put it on, or whatever weapon that you're going to put it on. So I kind of wish that they kept that, but maybe they just should have added durability to the book. Maybe like a 1 or 2 time use.
If you're feeling a little cold, this will warm you up. Just slap a bed down inside a pool of lava and you won't take any damage. And while being warmed up, just make sure you get out quickly. Ouch! Hot, hot. On Halloween, zombie skeletons, zombified pigmen, and wither skeletons can sometimes spawn wearing pumpkins or jack-o'-lanterns on their heads.
Dude, it's so cool when you find one.
Snow golems and iron golems, you need a carved pumpkin, but another secret block actually works. You may think it's the normal pumpkin, but that surprisingly doesn't work.
Is it the jack-o'-lantern?
That works is the jack-o'-lantern.
Yes.
This is a shield spear. It was created by McMackenstein.
Also another amazing creator who has created some awesome things that I've actually used in videos, so check out his channel.
And protects you by surrounding you with shields. When mobs come and try to attack you,
That is so
the
sick.
swords are spiked outwards, not letting any of them get you. One of the best ways to hide your base is underwater, because very few people actually check here. To make
True, underwater as well as in snow blocks, because you can add in snow blocks that you could just like fall through and then nobody would know where to look.
Where no one can find it, choose a spot that has a lot of seagrass and hide the base around the corner so no light goes through. Super secure and efficient. Pigling bartering is super overpowered, but it's so slow. Luckily, Bedrock Edition pros found a way to speed it up by 100 times. All you need to do is grab a sticky piston and a gold block and hook it up to a super fast clock. Then when you drop the gold, the pigling will pick a piece of gold up every time the block moves, giving you supercharged trading.
That is really weird.
Infinite grabble. Just what I've always wanted. Villagers can be very smart. They calculate the perfect paths to escape zombies, but you can also use this against them. By creating a pathway in the sky, the villagers will try to run away from the zombies, but will be stuck in a loop. You can make all sorts of pathways to make the villagers go crazy. Occasionally, piglins will try to hunt down hoglins, but most people don't know their secret ability. Piglins have a small chance to celebrate and dance after successfully hunting down a hoglin. You can also
is that an
run this
actual
command
thing?
and you'll start dancing too. This is the meanest way to
That's
trap
awesome.
villagers. By placing a honey block and then a cauldron on top, any villager inside of it will be stuck for all eternity. Well, until
Whoa.
you let them go. Most of the time, name tags are needed to rename mobs. So you can use an anvil to
True.
rename an axolotl bucket, and it'll
Oh.
rename the actual axolotl as well.
Oh, that's kinda
The most
neat.
cursed block in Minecraft is probably the petrified oak slab. It looks just like a normal oak slab, but has to be mined with a pickaxe and won't burn. Minecraft dogs
Okay,
are
that's kinda
super
weird.
weak. So this developer decided to give them a slight buff with a data pack. Just throw an enchanted golden apple to supercharge your dog, and it'll slice through all your enemies. Just a slight buff, nothing too overpowered.
Okay, I gotta
A great
get that
way to
thing.
make sure
That thing was
mobs can't
awesome.
enter your bases by using alternating fence types. Mobs won't be able to get through, but you'll be able to just walk around. How do you
Okay,
cross
that's
one block
overpowered.
gaps without jumping? You may think I'm using speed or ladders to cross these blocks, but I'm not. By turning your head 45 degrees and walking diagonally, it actually makes you just fast enough to walk over block gaps without jumping. Slimes
So you glitch out
love
the
to bounce
game.
around, almost too much. To punish them for their sins, you can turn them into volleyballs using iron golems. Just place two big golems like this, and they'll smack that slime back and forth forever. It's an epic
That's awesome.
automatic volleyball
I also didn't realize that iron golems can't go over rails for whatever reason.
minigame. Try it on your friends too. A classic way to torture the Enderman is with rain. In spectator mode, you can click on the Enderman to see its perspective. Each time it rains, they have to teleport all around the world to find a safe route. Ooh, creepers love to explode, but with this machine, you won't let them. Lead a creeper in the spot, and when it tries to explode, the trapdoor will get in the way and cancel the explosion. This machine makes me nervous, but it's also so
That's so sad. You can literally keep a creeper prisoner forever, and it's going to explode, and then it doesn't explode, and then it's going to go explode, and then it doesn't explode. That's like torture.
satisfying. Are you kidding me? If you don't want this to happen, there's an amazing trick you can do to make your chests invincible. Just waterlog them, and even if you set off a million explosions, your loot is going nowhere. Slime cubes and magma cubes can be any size you want. Just adjust their size
What?
with commands, and you can have one that's as large as your world. But watch out, because the larger they are, the more damage it deals,
Oh,
faster
okay.
it moves, and higher it jumps. Run
I mean, that
for
makes
it.
sense.
How do you die in spectator mode? Mobs can't attack you, and TNT doesn't move you. So how? There are two ways. If you fly all the way down below the void, you'll meet your end. But also, you
Oh,
can
okay.
just use the /kill command, but
Yeah.
that's cheating. To prevent players from destroying your security house, use this. Elder Guardians give mining fatigue to all players in a 50 block radius. So anyone trying to destroy your beautiful builds won't have a very good time. Well, unless
that's
they have
smart.
TNT. Gosh darn it. Dogs are normally man's best friend, but sometimes they make mistakes. Teach them a lesson by jump scaring them with a skeleton. Then when they run to the other side, a block is shoved in their face and a skeleton appears on the other side, causing it to run back and forth. Most
that's like the
people know
creeper
that
one. It's
iron
torture.
golems sink to the bottom of the ocean because they're so heavy. But did you know they'll never drown? This'll make
Never?
them stay stuck in the deep seas
Oh,
for
I
the
didn't
rest
know
of their
that.
lives. Iron golems have another superpower. They also don't take any fall damage. So you
I
can
did know
launch
that
them off
one.
a mountain and they'll be
They're made out of
perfectly
iron,
fine.
so I
You
mean,
see
why
the
would
base?
they?
Well, it's actually in this water barrel. If you surround it with the other decorations, it'll blend right into
Okay,
the
that is the most
background.
overpowered
To enter,
secret
just
base ever.
right-click the trapdoor
That
under
is
the
so
barrel
good.
and close in on your way down. No one is finding your base here. Minecraft almost had lore. Back in 2014, Dinnerbone created something called the Ultimate Plan. This would include the entire game story and would involve the Dragon Egg and Endermites. But when he tweeted about it, he mentioned he hasn't discussed it with the team yet, so it probably
Aw.
got rejected. One of the
That
best
would've been
ways
so
to
cool.
not get raided is by having your base impossible to reach. By building your base at the world border, you'll make it so very few people will want to come attack
I mean,
you. And you can
yeah.
even build your base against the border for extra protection.
Dude, what? Like, who is going to travel that far to find your base? They would need to travel like hundreds of thousands of blocks. At that point, I feel like it's not even worth it.
You can brew potions with a crafting table. By crafting Suspicious Stew, you can get 9 different potion effects. The effect depends on the type of flour you use. Corn flowers result in jump boost. Alliums give you fire resistance, but one flower is special. If you craft the stew with a lily of the valley, you'll be given the poison effect. This is because the lily of the valley is poisonous in real life. When Endermen were
that's
first
neat.
added to Minecraft, they could pick up any block, including bedrock and monster spawners. This could be abused and let players obtain illegal items in survival. It is possible to get your head through commands, so you can make a doll that tricks players into thinking you're home. Any thieves looking from afar will instantly turn back, thinking that you're still there.
Yeah, but I mean, like, for most people, you would see that the name tag wasn't there and that they're not moving. So I feel like, you know, for 95% of people, that probably wouldn't trick them. But it's still a nice little thing that you could do to try to protect your base.
In 2012, you could create obsidian farms. A simple way to make this was by making a normal cobblestone generator, but placing redstone dust where the cobblestone would form. I can see why this strange bug was patched. Bubble columns are one of the best ways to travel quickly upwards, but you can also create one of the deadliest traps with them. Just spam a bunch of harming potions at the top of the bubble column and then block it off with obsidian. And whoever has to swim up next will be a goner. By naming the villager Dinner Bone, you can flip it upside down. The villager can then be placed on top of a barrier block or iron bar, making it look like it's hung upside down by chains.
Wait, that looks awesome.
Night, a horde of zombies will spawn and the villager will be terrified. The villager won't know the zombies can't reach it though. Screaming goats love knocking players off cliffs, but most people don't know that goats also attack armor stands. So we can set up a barrier preventing the goat from knocking the armor stand off, and it'll keep trying for the rest of its life. It'll even scream in frustration.
It's target practice.
Endermen hate water, but for some reason, if you put an enderman in a water cauldron, they don't seem to mind.
Okay, they need to patch that.
You can put a lava cauldron underwater, and if you go into it, you'll burn while underwater.
Okay, BeckBroJack needs to watch this video and fix that.
Water, you'll create regenerating walls. This will make it so everyone trying to mine through will have a very difficult time because the cobblestone walls will just keep on healing.
Yeah, that's great in
those
factions.
Are some Minecraft things you didn't know existed.
Let's check this out.
Crystal beacon. Here are 100 Minecraft facts you didn't know. Giving a wolf maximum regeneration, health boost, and absorption effects makes its tail spin in circles. This is because tail angles represent a wolf's health. So stacking all these effects makes the tail go crazy. Man, this is cursed. Enderman can't be shot with snowballs, eggs, or arrows. But if you use a tipped arrow on the Enderman, although the arrow would miss, the Enderman still get the effect. You can turn dirt into emeralds. First turn that dirt into mud using a water bottle. Next, dry it out using dripstone. And finally, you can mine that clay and trade it for some emeralds from a stonemason. Maybe not the quickest way, but
interesting.
Still a cool trick. Most people use obsidian to explosion-proof their builds, but there is a much better way. Try using leaves instead because you can waterlog them, making them completely blast-proof. This crossbow takes 70 years.
That is pretty cool.
That's because the reload time starts going in reverse with any quick charge enchantment above level 5. And this crossbow is enchanted with quick charge level 6. Good luck trying to shoot me, pillager. Smooth variants
70 years to recharge that.
Have a higher blast resistance than their normal versions. For example, smooth quartz has a blast resistance of 6, while the normal block of quartz has a blast resistance of 0.8. You can get smooth blocks.
I wonder how you figure that out.
Blocks in a furnace. Wolves can't teleport to you if there is no safe space to teleport to. But if you are completely surrounded
I did know
in glass
that.
blocks, the wolf has a superpower and can teleport straight into it because it's a transparent block. And that looks painful. You may know that water can hydrate
That's so weird.
Up to 4 blocks away. But did you know it can work through air? That's right. It doesn't matter what blocks are between the farmland and water. It'll still hydrate. There's no way you knew this. If you drop an item into the ocean,
I had no idea about that.
Playing with it. They'll bop the item with their noses, sending it flying. Too bad this only works.
I did know about this one. I've actually tested it out before.
Snow golems in Minecraft will actively try to leave any confined space they are in. They check for exits every few seconds and walk out. Too bad villagers aren't that smart.
That is true.
If you break a mob skull, for some, the same texture as breaking soul sand particles come out. It's almost like the mob's soul is trying to come out.
Really?
There's a way to harvest
I never noticed
crops
that.
at once. Crops need light to survive. So if you turn off all lights once the crops are finished growing, all the crops will instantly break, saving you tons of time. Before the 1.9 update, there were
That's
30
super smart.
potions, some of which were the foul potion, thin potion, and sparkling potion. They had no effect and appeared
I've never heard of these.
textures of other potions. I wish they were added still. Imagine drinking a stinky potion. You're falling in the air, but
that'd be awesome.
Luckily, you have a potion of levitation, because by perfectly timing the potion just before you hit the ground, you can save yourself. Close one. This new
I would
arrow
definitely mess that
existed
up.
in the game for only 2 days. The Arrow of Luck was a reward item from Fletcher villagers. Using the arrow would grant the villagers the luck effect, which would make it so you got better loot from fishing. Too bad you can't get this arrow in survival anymore. You can brew potions with a crafting table.
They need to add that back.
Suspicious stew, you can get 9 different potion effects. The effect depends on the type of flour you use. Corn flowers result in jump boost. Alliums give you fire resistance, but one flower is special. If you craft the stew with a lily of the valley, you'll be given the poison effect. This is because the lily of the valley is poisonous in real life. How do you die?
I did actually know about that.
Mobs can't attack you and TNT doesn't move you. So how? There are
I think you can only use commands, or you can go like up and down into the void.
If you fly all the way down below the void, you'll meet your end. But also, you can just use the /kill command, but that's cheating. Pickaxes are super useful for mining, but they're even better for farming. Using a fortune enchanted pickaxe or crops makes them actually drop more. On top of that, for some reason, pickaxes don't break if you use them to harvest crops. So you
honestly, I never used that before, and I'm kind of ashamed.
Way cooler than what we have now. Today, rabbits are boring and are just a food source, but back when they were first introduced, you could hold out a carrot and tame the actual rabbit. That's right. You could have rabbits as pets in early versions, and they'd even teleport.
Why would they take that out?
Breed entire armies of rabbits.
That's so sick.
Them back.
I mean, it makes sense because in real life, I mean, people have bunny rabbits as pets. So why would they take that
normally
out?
extinguishes fire, right? Well, most of the time, because you can shoot fire charges straight into bubble columns, and the fire charges will just float in the water. How is this even allowed?
That's so
Take
cursed.
a close look at the hotbar,
that should not be allowed.
And you'll realize that the boxes and sand textures that are transparent. Mojang is very good at reusing
Oh yeah,
textures.
I did know that.
Bubble columns are one of the best ways to travel quickly upwards, but you can also create one of the deadliest traps with them. Just spam a bunch of harming potions at the top of the bubble column, and then block it off with obsidian. And whoever has to swim up next will be a goner. The only way to get name tags is from loot chests, but there's a way to duplicate them. If you name a big slime with a name tag and then kill it, each one of the baby slimes will have the same name as the parent slime. This is evil.
True.
Separate two animals with a
I don't know
wall,
why you would
and
ever
when
do that.
Them, it'll actually work. Too bad the animals can't see each other though. Water is impossible to
Wait,
place
how
in
is
the
that
nether
possible?
in newer versions of Minecraft. Psych, just bring a cauldron to the nether and place some water. Or if you catch on fire, just splash yourself with a water bottle. TNT is extremely dangerous.
Mojang should not allow that. That's so cursed.
Entire build. But if you put a falling anvil on top of the prime TNT, the TNT will explode inside of the anvil, and no blocks will break. Minecraft's old fish texture used to
I never
look
knew about
like this,
that.
but there is still one place you can't find it. The Fisherman's Village.
Yes, on the villager.
Old raw fish tied to its waist. Have you ever tried sleeping underwater? Because it's actually possible. If you swim down to the bottom of the nearest ocean and place your bed, you'll be able to get a good night's rest, while all the floating mobs can't touch you. You can never unlearn this.
That's
Void
weird.
World Superflat preset spawns a stone platform centered at 8 rather than 0. 0, so the stone platform is off-centered. My life is ruined. Skeletons are a dangerous mob because they have aimbot. But did you know a skeleton can actually shoot itself? And no, I don't mean a skeleton shooting another skeleton.
Why would it shoot itself?
When a skeleton aims directly vertical, the arrow will fly into the sky and land right down on itself. How tragic. Donkeys are awesome for carrying loot, but they're too slow compared to horses. But there's a way to get both storage and speed. By feeding a tamed horse and tamed donkey a golden carrot, you'll breed them and get the mule. This mob doesn't spawn naturally and must be bred. The mule speed is between the donkey and horse, and it can have
I've never actually made one, but I did know that it existed in Minecraft.
You can use fishing rods on mobs like pigs and zombies, but it also works on non-mobs. You can reel in things like shulker bullets, prime TNT, anvils, and even the dragon.
Why would you ever do
Minecraft
that?
Is not very realistic.
That's
this
sick.
armor set was deleted. Studded armor was supposed to be in between leather and chain armor. It kind of looks like play armor and could be crafted using iron and leather. Unfortunately, there wasn't a good reason for it to exist, so it was deleted. Slimes actually move fast.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't have made any sense.
Meaning, if you summon a slime of size 8, it can outjump the player when sprinting. And the bigger you go, the faster they become. Nah, get away from me. Want the ultimate escape?
You can make a huge slime. That's sick.
Boots and build a powered snow wall. Now, if anyone tries to pass this wall, they'll freeze to death. But if you wear your trusty leather boots, you can scale the entire wall like a pro. If you name a Vindicator Johnny,
that's so
it
cool.
goes crazy and attacks any nearby mob. But it's actually pretty useful. You can use this crazy Vindicator to attack animals and create a passive mob farm. Most of the time, name tags
is true, actually.
Mobs, but you can use an anvil to rename an axolotl bucket, and it'll rename the actual axolotl.
Yes, I did actually do this the other day. Pretty smart.
So what happens if you give them a crossbow? You'd expect them to draw them back just like pillagers, but unfortunately, they're not smart enough and just trying to whack you with it. Ouch! Back in 2012, you could create
they don't know how to use it.
A simple way to make this was by making a normal cobblestone generator, but placing redstone dust where the cobblestone would form. I can see why this strange bug was patched. Did you know that the crafting cable can be used as a compass? On its northern part, there will always be a texture with a saw and a hammer, regardless of what direction you're looking when placing the block. If you turn on subtitles,
I actually
you can
never
see what
noticed
sounds
that.
are playing around you. This can be really useful when trying to find lava pools underground. But something cursed also happens.
I do see pros play with that on all the time.
In the earliest versions of the game, skeletons had a small chance to drop a quiver. This allowed you to shoot arrows without wasting arrows. However, this item was soon removed, and the infinity enchantment
it's so overpowered.
Mining fatigue is the worst. So when sailing over oceans, watch out for monuments, because even briefly floating over them can give you mining fatigue. In older versions of Minecraft, you could make 6-sided pistons by bugging out the redstone. Unfortunately, you couldn't activate it with redstone, but they looked beautiful.
I mean, yeah, that would be so cursed.
On some servers. If you ever wanted to build a bubble elevator, don't use water. Instead, stack up with ice blocks above a soul sand block, and then mine it all down with a pickaxe. All the ice blocks will turn into water source blocks, and the bubble stream will send you flying right back to the top. Whee! This is the meanest
Interesting.
way to
I guess
trap
that's a lot
villagers.
easier
By
to
placing
build.
a honey block and then a cauldron on top, any villager inside of it will be stuck for all eternity. Well, until
It's
you
good
let
for
them go.
villager
Minecraft's
farms.
beacon texture has changed 4 times. It first just looked like
Really?
a glass block and had a fuzzy beam. Then a
I never
weird
knew that.
rotating crystal was added inside. Next, it was
Okay,
changed to
that's
a
an end
diamond glass
crystal.
box and had a jagged beam. Finally,
Interesting.
it was changed to the beautiful beacons we have today. Before the aquatic update,
I like that. I like our
1.13, any items
beacon
that you
version that
threw
we
into
got.
the water would all float down to the bottom of the ocean floor. But nowadays, they all float up to the surface and bob in place. It's really helpful because oceans used to be so much darker. So
It's crazy to me that there's so many people, maybe even watching this video, that didn't know Minecraft before like some of the latest updates. And let me tell you guys, the latest updates have been fantastic. Old versions of Minecraft, even though fun to play, there's so many things that they changed for the better.
if
Trust
you
me.
lost
And this
your
is just
stuff
one of
down
them.
there, it was pretty much gone for good. If you kill a chicken and its corpse
Yep.
falls off a cliff, the corpse will slowly fall and keep on flapping its wings. I hope you didn't know this one. Endermen hate water, but for some reason, if you put an Enderman in a water cauldron, they don't seem to mind. What's even weirder
He's cool
is
with
that
it.
you can
It's
put a
fake
lava
water.
cauldron underwater, and if you go into it, you'll burn while underwater. Did you
How?
know that to find a
How is
brown
that
mushroom,
possible?
a red mushroom needs to be struck by lightning, which is a very rare event. But another way of encountering a brown mushroom is by breeding it. So there's only a 1 in 1,024 chance for the baby mushroom.
That has to be one of the
brown.
rarest mobs
Endermen
ever.
get furious when you look at their eyes. However, if you accidentally lock eyes with them, don't look away. As long as you keep staring at their eyes, they won't move. It's been 3 days. Help! Stop using
really?
the crafting table. At least
Okay,
to
I
craft
didn't know
stone
about that.
stairs, because you end up wasting so much stone. It takes 6 stones to craft 4 stairs with the crafting table, but you can craft a stair with just 1 stone using the stone cutter. There used to be a secret
okay,
Easter
yeah, you might
egg
as well
hidden
do that.
inside the
You'll save
beacon.
your
If
stone.
you took a look at the texture file for the beacon beam, you could find map icons hidden inside of it. How strange is
What?
that? Minecraft almost had lore.
I don't know how I feel about that.
In 2014, Dinnerbone created something called the Ultimate Land. This would include the entire game's story and would involve the Dragon Egg and Endermites. But when he tweeted about it, he mentioned he hasn't discussed it with the team yet. So
That was honestly such a good idea, especially because Dinnerbone, I'm pretty sure, is still a big part of the team, and they never moved, past the point of just like kind of talking about it. But it would have been really cool if Minecraft had like more lore and a better story system. Obviously, there's the Ender Dragon, which is cool in and of itself, and there's like the weird end screen credits that has some lore in it, but honestly, I get why they didn't do it, because if they did add a story mode, it wouldn't really be the same game that it is
it
today.
probably got rejected. Have you ever noticed observers have a face? Well, it didn't always look like this. Instead
Yes.
of a face, there was a small sensor. But because both sides of the observer looked like a sensor, it was easy to get them confused. Luckily, Jeb kept getting
True.
confused too, and just added a face. Minecraft likes to
Smart.
reuse a lot of textures, but did you know
Oh
the
my
respawn
gosh, yeah.
anchor was actually reusing something as well? The respawn anchor sound
end
is
chest?
actually just the nether portal sound reversed. The piercing enchantment
really?
on crossbows makes arrows go through mobs, but it has a trick. By using a piercing bow and a tipped arrow of weakness, you can affect all villager zombies in a line with weakness and cure 4 villagers
that's
at once.
sick.
Or you can just use a splash
super
potion.
smart.
Did you know that Deep Dark was initially
guess that
going
works
to be
too.
underwater? According to the original roadmap for the update, underwater lights, floating jellyfish, and even ghost blocks were in the works. However, since this didn't match the creepy theme of the Warden, it was never implemented.
I guess,
Are
yeah.
you kidding me? If
That makes
you don't
sense.
want this to happen, there's an amazing trick you can do to make your chest invincible. Just
Shulker
waterlog
boxes.
it. And even if you set off a
Or
million
waterlog it, I guess.
explosions, your loot is going nowhere. In 1.20.2,
Yeah,
you
true.
can now put up to 64 items inside decorated pots. Only one type of item can be put in at a time. And when you're done, you can crack open the pot with an arrow. There's a color in Minecraft that is
That's funny.
everywhere, but almost no one has noticed. Look at ocean monuments, guardians,
What?
the warden, and even soul energy. What do you think all of them have in common? It's the cyan color. Could this have something to do with Minecraft's ancient
Okay.
lore? You can fly faster or slower.
I don't
in
know about
spectator
that.
mode by scrolling. By scrolling up or down your hotbar,
Oh,
you can
yeah,
adjust
everybody
the flying
knows that,
speed
right?
to as fast as 87
Right?
blocks per second, or as slow
Did
as
you guys know
practically
about
not
that?
moving. When you meet an Enderman, you're probably used to its purple eyes and black smoke that it emits. But the Enderman
Well, yeah.
actually used to have green eyes. Did you know that Deep Slate was supposed to be named something else? Originally, Deep Slate was meant to be Brimstone, but Mojang decided that Brim sounded too negative. Yeah, okay, Mojang. Are you
guess.
tired
I mean,
of
it
water
sounds kinda
freezing
cooler in
cold
my opinion.
biomes? You can try placing light sources like torches or glowstones, but they're ugly. Instead,
Yeah.
you can use a waterlogged slab that'll never freeze. But it gets even better. Kelp can also be put inside
Okay.
water, and it also will no longer turn into ice. Piggling bartering is
that's a
super
cool way to go
overpowered,
about
but
it.
It's so slow. Luckily, Bedrock Edition pros found a way to speed it up by 100 times. All you need to do is grab a sticky piston and a gold block, and hook it up to a super fast
Yep,
block.
I've
Then
seen
when
this
you drop
before.
the gold, the Piggling will pick a piece of gold up.
Dream's
Every time
getting
the block
very
moves,
excited
to
when
be
he's
a
watching watching this.
Supercharged trading. Ah, finally. Infinite
Oh my
travel.
gosh,
Just what
dude.
I've always wanted. Cats always land at their feet in real life, but in Minecraft, cats don't take any fall damage. You can hit them off a mountain
Nope.
and they'll still survive. Try surviving this. Have you seen those stylish
oh
villager
my
outfits,
God.
hooks on their heads and fur coats? Who designed those cutting-edge
Yes.
fashions? Mojang revealed
don't know.
villagers were inspired by a Gucci fashion show. How did villagers end up dressed better
What?
than me? A strange item might become
Really?
Minecraft's best weapon. In Minecraft's combat testing snapshot, netherite hoes are the best weapon. This is because axes have a reach of 2.5 blocks. Swords have a reach of 3 blocks.
Okay.
And hoes have a reach of 3.5 blocks. This would make it so
Really?
someone using a hoe would
That's
always hit
insane.
someone using a sword or axe first. I never thought netherite
Okay,
hoes
dude, that's
would be actually
honestly really
useful.
overpowered.
You should never dig straight down, right? Well, not exactly. Because
course.
digging straight down has a 64% chance of leading to nothing and only a 6% chance of leading to lava. So it's mostly safe. And even if you do fall in lava, you can always just use a water bucket. Fences are the strangest blocks
That
in
is true.
Minecraft. You can't jump over them normally,
Why?
but when you make them even taller with a carpet or trapdoor, then you can jump on them. This game
Yeah,
is
that
so
actually
weird. These
makes no
Minecraft accounts
sense.
are illegal. Minecraft usernames are supposed to have more than 3 characters, but the names BB, G, and 8 exist. When Minecraft was first created,
Oh,
usernames
what?
didn't have requirements, and this allowed players to create these cursed usernames. This feature breaks Minecraft. This is because the game can't handle extremely large numbers. So if you die with over 21,863 XP levels, you'll have a negative game score. This is so cursed.
Oh.
The Swift Sneak enchantment lets you travel super quickly,
Huh.
but most people use it wrong. The enchantment lets you move faster while shifting, but if you sprint right before pressing crouch, you'll go way quicker. But that's not it. You can go even faster
Interesting.
by sprint jumping and holding crouch. Now you can escape your enemies without getting
Dude,
caught.
who
This
ever
Minecraft
figured
mod
that
has
out?
different stages. Piglins can have a light, medium, or heavy aggression. The light tier can be fixed by wearing gold armor. The medium tier can be calmed by bartering gold, and the heavy tier can't be cured.
Okay.
You can climb up hundreds of blocks with just 2 items: powdered snow and leather boots. While wearing leather boots, you
Oh,
won't fall
yeah,
through
true.
the powdered snow and will be able to continue climbing without leaving a trail. In all of Minecraft, there is
Wow,
one block
that's
you
awesome.
can enchant. This block is a non-wearable block, so pumpkins don't count. The answer is the jack-o'-lantern, and it can be enchanted with
Yes,
curses,
my favorite
even
block
though
in the
you can't
game.
wear it. Unfortunately, this was patched in 1.20, but if you are ever on an older version, it'd be a super cool trick. Shifting hides the player's name tag, but it has another secret use. Most hostile
Oh,
mobs
yeah,
can
look
detect
at
you from
that. You
16
can see in the
blocks away,
water.
but sneaking decreases the detection range to 80% of their usual range.
Oh,
So
I
if
didn't
you're
know they
trying to
were
escape
going
some
there with
creepers,
that.
Sneaking will help a lot. There's another
That
way
actually
to
makes a
sneak
lot of
past
sense.
mobs, and it's even better than shifting. When you wear mob heads, it halves the distance that mobs can detect you. Just another way to get past
What?
pesky mobs. Have
Okay,
you ever
I
wondered
actually
how
never
the
knew
gas
about that.
sounds
That's so
were
clever.
made in Minecraft? The sound is horrific. C418, the
catch.
original sound designer for Minecraft, said that he got the sounds from his sleeping cat and he modified them to sound scarier. Skeletons have a hidden
They do
detail
sound a lot
very few
scarier than a normal
players know
cat.
About 11% of them spawn left-handed, and it apparently mirrors the amount of real people who are left-handed. How crazy is
Oh,
that?
that's
Want
kind of a neat
more
Easter
inventory
egg.
space? Just turn on touchscreen
Yes.
mode and use your number hotkeys to place your items in the crafting grid. You can exit your inventory and the items will stay there. This bug was patched in 1.19, but you
Whoa.
can still use it in any version before. With maps and glass, you can make one-way windows. You can create maps that look like blocks using
Actually?
a custom map generator or by building block layouts by hand. Slap them on glass and you can spy on your friends without getting caught. So it was you who was stealing my
that's so
emeralds.
cool.
Use this method to find tons of netherite. Just place a grindstone, apply fire resistance, and swim
Okay.
upwards beneath the grindstone while holding crouch. This way you
That
can
works?
X-ray underneath lava lakes to find hidden netherite. This
Oh,
method is
shoot,
good because
look
you
at
don't
that.
need
It
tons
actually
of eggs
worked.
to do it. This is the easiest way
Yeah,
to kill
true.
a ward. As the warden spawns, build an iron golem and make sure you have over a stack of
Okay.
iron. You can use this iron to heal the golem as it takes damage. And
Oh,
it'll destroy the warden for
I forgot
It
you
may
could
seem
hear
a
the
little
iron golem like
expensive,
that.
But you can easily get iron with AFK farms. And it's certainly better
mean,
than
yeah, that's
dying
true.
in the deep dark. If you apply the name
The
tag
warden is
Bitterbone
extremely difficult to
mobs,
kill,
it'll
so I
flip
like
them
that idea.
upside down. But there are 3 mobs it won't work on. You probably know the Ender
Okay.
Dragon. But the other 2
Well,
are a
of
bit
course.
more surprising. Considering you can do it to the Wither, the 2 mobs are the Squid and Glow Squid. Squids have another strange feature.
That's
Real
kind
life
of
squids
weird.
have 10 tentacles, but Minecraft squids have
Yep.
only 8. But considering Minecraft has a dragon
Huh.
and giant green slimes, I think it's fine that squids aren't completely realistic. Let me ride you
I
already.
guess so,
If it's
yeah.
taking forever to tame a horse, you can feed it a golden apple before trying again, and it'll be way more likely to accept you. Minecraft items have a secret rarity system. This is why some items have white names while others are colored. But what do the colors mean? Common items are white, treasure items are bright
Right.
yellow, boss drops are aqua,
Okay.
and admin items glow purple. What happens if you enchant a
That
normal
makes sense.
golden apple?
Okay, it's
Will
like
it
an
act
RPG
just like
type
the
game.
God apple, or will it be the same? The answer is actually in between. Enchanting a regular golden apple boosts its rarity to epic, turning its name the same color as God apples. It's still functioning like normal, but how cool is that? If you shoot Shoot a bunch of arrows with your
Yeah,
left
very
hand.
cool. You
You'll
can
see
trick
more
some people.
arrows will land on the left side of your crosshair. This happens because arrows lean a bit left or right, depending on which hand you shoot a bow with.
Interesting.
I always thought
That's a
something
cool
was
feature.
off. The symbols on end crystals may look random, but they actually spell something pretty interesting. When you rearrange the symbols, they spell out BeckBroJack. I'd be surprised if you knew this.
Oh,
the phantom
what?
sounds were made by a developer's son screaming in his sleep. Yeah, there's no way you knew that. Llamas are one of the fastest
Nope.
mobs in
I had no
Minecraft. They
idea.
may seem slow at first, especially the wandering trader llamas, but there's a way to make them go super fast. When you attach a llama
How?
to a lead, up to 10 other llamas
Okay.
will follow, and they'll do almost anything to
Oh
keep
my
up. You can fly
gosh.
backwards in creative mode, and the llamas will still somehow keep up. Have you ever
Dude,
noticed
they're
you can
so
craft
fast.
books in the crafting table any way you want?
Well,
the
yeah.
recipes are shapeless, meaning you can place the ingredients however you like. It also works for flint and steel, as well as beetroot
Yep.
soup. Now this is very cursed. With just a chicken, lead, and boat, you can create a void base.
Okay.
All you have to do is attach
Oh,
the
yeah,
chicken
I
to a
did
fence,
know about
then ride
this.
the boat on top. This works because boats are
Yep.
able to land on top of entities. You can
I
also
think you
put
can do
boat
this with
chests to make the
shulkers as
most
well.
secret base ever. This is the most embarrassing way to die. If you punch an armor stand with Thorn's armor, you end up taking damage. And if you keep doing it, you'll get this embarrassing death message. The bucket has a slight detail only the most observant players will notice. When you pick up a fish,
overflowing
the
or
bucket
what?
goes down by 1 pixel to show the weight of the fish pushing
Oh.
it down. It's nearly impossible to see if
Interesting.
you're not looking closely. This chest is impossible.
Yeah, that
to
is really
open.
cool.
You may think there's a block or barrier on top, but there isn't. The chest was locked using the data command. With this command, you can lock
Oh,
chests,
yeah,
furnaces,
true.
and other storages. The only way to open them
That's
is
sweet.
with a key you set in the command. This way, you can have secret chests that only you know how to open. Begone thieves.
I like that
Minecraft
idea a lot.
recycles
I gotta
lot
use
of
that in my next
textures.
Minecraft world.
Sandstone is identical to cobblestone, bedrock to stone, and Santa clay. Even the creeper hissing sound is the same as the prime TNT sound, just pitched down. When you load a
Yeah,
world,
true.
chunk colors actually mean something. Black means unloaded
What?
terrain, gray means structures, and blue means
Okay.
water. This is the full color chart. So next time your world is
Oh.
loading, keep an eye out
Huh.
for interesting chunks. Did you know mobs can
Oh,
still
yeah,
see
true.
you when
You can see
invisible
different things
instead
in
of
the
hiding you
world.
completely? The effect makes it so that mobs detect you at 7% of their usual range. Each armor piece also increases
can still
the
find you,
detection range
technically.
by 17.5%. So if you get too
Whoa.
close or wear too much armor, the mobs will still come
Yeah,
after
they're gonna
you. If you're
find
fighting
you.
a zombie and more seem to appear out of nowhere. This is because you're fighting a leader. They have a 5% chance of spawning, and when attacked, they'll summon reinforcement
I
zombies.
swear,
Fireflies
it's
were supposed to
higher than
sparkle in the dark.
5%.
The frogs would snap the glowing bugs right out of the air with their long tongues. How cool would it have been to see frogs leaping and catching fireflies?
That would've been
However, once
amazing.
Mojang
I would've
found
watched
out
that all
fireflies
day.
are poisonous to frogs, they canceled the idea. Rest in peace,
Aw.
fireflies. Subscribe if you enjoyed.
Today's video was created by MagmaMoosin. His channel will be linked down below. By the way, if you've seen any of these before, make sure you smash like. Disclaimer, you might know some of these. If so, give yourself a high five. Things you can't unsee. They will be engraved into your brain forever. Today I'll show you some weird things that I haven't been able to unsee once I saw them. Okay, so the first one looks like it's smooth sandstone. For example, have you seen the number written on sandstone? My phone number's on there? What kind of number? Wait, I see it. Do you guys see it? Okay, directly in the middle of the screen, there is a number 2. How have I never noticed that before? It's been staring me in the face forever. I can't stop seeing the number 2. Well, now I can't stop seeing the number 2. So I guess today we all now know that there is a number 2 in smooth sandstone. Every time I see smooth sandstone, I will just see a number 2. You know what chickens look like, right? I think so. I think I know what chickens look like. What could be weird about chickens? Honestly, I'm not sure. Maybe they look like ducks? Kinda. Maybe, are they ducks? Many things, but this one is about their eyes. They just have white eyes. Or black eyes and kind of white eyes. Wait. Unlike the other farm animals, the chicken's face is white. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Every chicken is a white chicken. Every pig is a pink pig. This means most players see the chicken's eyes as 2 half black dots. But are they not black dots? Right, there they are. However, this is probably not the correct interpretation. What's he talking about? MagmaMoosin, what have you discovered? It's probably just like the rest of the animals. What does that mean? Tell me what it means. What do the eyes mean? It's 2 eyes with white looking out to each side. No. What? Oh my gosh. It looks like he has funny glasses on. Wait, is that actually what it's supposed to be?
Not sure how I feel about it. So the chickens have the same eyeballs as every other creature. I always thought they just had little black dots for eyes. I'm not gonna be able to unsee that one, that's for sure. I'm gonna have nightmares about that. There's an item hidden in rails. Is it ladders? I can honestly see ladders. I've heard of this theory before. Place down a few and look at the corner. Okay, we're looking at the corner. It's right there. Oh, it's a pickaxe. Do you see the iron pickaxe? I do now. I've never noticed these things. I normally just go through my Minecraft day just like doing things. I'm building stuff, I'm crafting things, and I am not looking for the intricate details like Magma Moosin is. If so, you'll always see it from now on. Thank you, Magma Moosin, for blessing us with things we can no longer unsee. I hope that nothing is super bad. The grass block is probably the block you know the best. You see it the most in Minecraft. Every time you start up a world, you normally see grass, unless you got a really bad spawn. You'd think you'd seen everything there is to see about it. Yeah, it's green. It has other green little dots in there. Some are lighter, some are darker. The grass block is rotated randomly to avoid obvious patterns. Okay, I knew about that. All blocks are kind of rotated randomly. However, this causes new patterns in special cases. What sort of special? Wait a sec. Did you guys see that? 4 grass blocks can form beautiful stars in some cases. Wait, where are the stars? What does he mean? What is he doing? Is he gonna outline it? I don't know what I'm looking at. Do you see them? Not really, honestly. Do you guys see them? Where are the stars? Oh, I see them now. Okay, so it's like 4 little dots that sort of are randomly all together. Once you know they're there, you can't unsee them. Well, yeah, now everywhere that I look, I kind of see them immediately. It's, okay, that one, it's good. I like that one, but honestly, I don't know if I'm gonna remember that one and see it in Minecraft. Next up, do you see one of the cats as a cyclops? No? Not really. Which cat is a cyclops? Be warned, once you do, it's hard to go back. Is that a cyclops cat? No, wait, it can't be. A cyclops has 1 eye, that has 2. It's this black cat right here. But how? How does it have a cyclops eye? Do you see the huge green eye looking straight at you? No! The huge green eye? Wait, please outline it. You have to imagine the green as the iris and the black in the middle as the pupil. Oh. Oh, wait, that is weird. Okay, you kind of have to use your imagination for this one a little bit, but yeah, it looks like a cyclops now. You imagine the center of the cat as its actual pupil. Oh my gosh, no. Nah, okay, all right. That one is just cursed. I don't like that one. The hopper, anvil, and cauldron all look similar. They're all made out of iron, so that kind of makes sense. They all have the same colors, and they all kind of sound the same almost. One could say they're in the same block item / category type. However, for some reason, the inventory icon is inconsistent. Actually, yeah, that is kind of weird. Some of them are 8-bit, while the anvil is fully 3D. Yeah, it's pixel art versus the 3D anvil, just like I said. Which honestly doesn't make sense. Why do some items like that have the 3D model and some of them are just the pixel art? Yeah, there's probably more examples of that. I agree with Magma Moosin. If you guys know of any other ones, comment them down below. Okay, next up we have bricks. This one will probably annoy you from now on. Great, thanks a lot. This is exactly what I want, to get annoyed by bricks. Luckily, I don't use bricks too much in Minecraft. I don't know about you guys, but I kind of don't use them. So maybe I won't have to worry about this one as much. But okay, we're gonna place down some bricks. The brick texture almost aligns, but not quite. Oh, wait a second. Do you guys see it? Okay, so the one side and the top side don't align. It would almost be better if it didn't align at all. It's so close. That just makes me angry. I'm boycotting bricks. Nobody use bricks ever again. A lot of textures are just recycled from other blocks or items. Wait, take a look at the jungle log. I've never noticed this before. It's just the oak log block sideways. It really is. Wait, that's so weird. And then they just changed the color a little bit It's a little bit darker. Oh, that's weird. And it's the same with those. Okay, those ones I knew, obviously. Gunpowder, redstone, and glowstone dust. All three of those look exactly the same, but they just have different colors. Even the blocks that light up, or the little pixels that light up, look the exact same. Stone and bedrock, also very much the same. Yeah, bedrock is actually just high contrast stone. What else do you have for us, Magma Moosin? What could be wrong with signs? Well, I mean, you can pull whatever you want on signs, so I could see how this could go wrong very fast. He said, oh, not much. Other than what? What aren't you telling me? No! They aren't even touching the wall? No! I don't believe it! How is that possible? Why doesn't it just touch the wall? There's like a 1 pixel space where it's so close. But it's so defining. Look, you can't not see that anymore. Every time I place out a sign now on a wall, I'm gonna have to look for that. The crafting table has an unfinished texture. Is it the saw? Thankfully, you don't notice it much. What is it? Is it the scissors? That's because the unfinished part is at the bottom. Oh, wait a second. I think you can actually use this to hide your crafting table. It just looks like an oak plank. I've seen this used in secret house designs before, and it's actually a really great way to hide your crafting table if you don't want anybody to use it, or if you just want to have a cool spot to place your crafting table. And supposedly it's not the only block like that. If you guys know of other blocks that aren't finished, also comment them down below, because I feel like I should make a video testing these out for myself. Here's a little bonus thing. He places down a door. Door hinges shift around. So the hinge is the part of the door that like normally connects to the wall. So the door hinges aren't supposed to shift. Here from left to right side of the door. Oh, I see. Okay, so the hinges are like the little gray blocks or the pixels that you see. It seems to be the case for all doors. So the hinges will like kind of flip to the other side, it looks like. First up, there is a penguin hidden in those blocks. Next, that is a candle, right? But it looks like a mouse. That's actually kind of crazy. All right, what is this? There's a zombie hand. Oh, it does kind of look like a zombie hand. Also, guys, comment throughout today's video if you've seen some of these before. Okay, it does kind of look like a hard drive a little bit, like an old school hard drive. That is Among Us. It actually does look like Among Us. That's crazy. It's a happy spider. Oh my gosh, wait, it does look like it has like little tiny spider eyes. This one is a door and a trap door. Oh, wait, it's the exact same. I didn't even realize that. There's no way. Is that Rickroll? Comment down below if it is. I've seen this one before, where the edge of the rails is a pickaxe. This one, wait, I thought I was supposed to have a book. Oh wait, if you look really close, with a spyglass, what is it? Oh, well, I didn't get that one. What's in the corner? Is it just like weird? What's this? Okay, oh, the line's off. Okay, that makes sense. We gotta call Mojang. We gotta tell them. Is the line fixed now? Wait, what? You can go inside of it? That's a thing, and then the water's gone. Wait, he just shrunk inside of it. This next one, the painting of the Wither. Yeah, it is a painting of the Wither, boss. Oh, wait, the sign. It wasn't even about the Wither. The sign is cursed. Subscribe and leave a like on today's video if you have not already. Also, check out the original creator, who will be linked down below in the description. The chest lock and the villager nose are the exact same size. The same eyes are on the chicken and the pig. What is this? In the soul sand, there's a, what is that, a dinosaur? Oh my god, so if you outline it, it does kind of look like a dinosaur that's opened its mouth, like a stegosaurus. That is a piece of pizza. I have seen that before. What's inside of this painting? Oh, it's just the original painting. It's just the pixelated version. Okay, wait, that has like a little hamster in it. I like that one. This one's fun. So yeah, they're just super pixelated versions of like actual pictures. I don't know what that is. That was weird. This one's kind of cool. I wonder if like they made them in Minecraft first and then somebody recreated them, or if the pictures actually existed and Minecraft just stole them. That one, I thought that was Rickroll. Was that not Rickroll from earlier? This one does not make any sense. This one is weird. I don't know if that's the actual one. They're kind of stretching it. This one for sure is the right one. Okay, there's 4 trapdoors set up. Waffles. It is waffles. All right, we're gonna check out a furnace. Why is everything Among Us? Everything is not Among Us. Minecraft was created so much longer before Among Us. What is this, a diamond pickaxe? Okay, he's looking at the diamond pickaxe. Oh yeah, there are some lines in the diamond pickaxe that have never been fixed. It's kind of weird. Mojang should probably fix it because they do have $1 billion game on their hands. That is the letter C, and I'm never going to be able to unsee that again in my entire life.
He just zoomed in on different Among Us characters inside of the bookshelf. Minecraft is just simply Among Us. Oh, there's a creeper head inside of the sandstone. That's pretty cool. What's underneath? Oh, wait. It's a chicken head. I've seen this one before. That looks like chocolate. It is chocolate. I can confirm trapdoors are chocolate. That is just simple Pac-Man. They just stole Pac-Man and made it into a lily pad. These are all by the same creator, by the way. Their channel will be linked down below in the description. So we've already seen that one. This one's kind of cool. Look at that. The Wither Boss is actually hidden inside of that block. And I actually think the block existed before the Wither Boss, which is kind of cool. It was like hinting at the Wither Boss. This one, the Netherrack, has the Wither face in it. And then if you look at this like blackstone or like smooth blackstone block, it actually has the Piglin's face in it. It's kind of cool. Over here we have, no, not again. Not again. Get rid of Amogus. Get rid of it. Why is he so, he's so thick? What is this? There's a cat. Oh yeah, wait, if you put it out, there's actually a secret cat hidden underneath the campfire. I'm never gonna be able to unsee these things again. I've seen a couple of them. These look like wings, right? Or no, they look like AirPods. They also do kind of look like little tiny fairy wings. What could that be? Oh, it's just the end of a broom. It's wheat broom. That is a great ball. that's a little bit of a stretch. This is Batman? That's Batman? You're crazy. 17.3 times 3. I have no clue. What is that? A diamond block. Oh wait, that actually is a diamond. Okay, I like that. What's inside of there? Strawberries? That is the furthest thing from strawberries that I've ever seen. It does kind of look like some sort of plant. That's potatoes? We're calling that potatoes? What's in here? The number 1? You could say that it's the number 7. You could say that it's a bunch of lines. What is that? I don't even know what that was. I thought that was the piglin. Are we changing our minds now? That does kind of look like that though. That does kind of look like that helmet. And this one looks like a giant, I was gonna say a lime actually. It looks way more like a lime than a 4-leaf clover. What does the gas have to do with anything? Oh, it's No Face from Spirited Away. This next one is a music disc that apparently looks like a UFO. I don't really see it too much. A rabbit hide, that's not even close. That is not even close. What is this? A trident looks like a fork. Yes, a trident and a fork are kind of similar. One has 4 prongs, one only has 3. The gold looks like a loaf of bread. I can get behind that. I like that one. This does kind of look like Bitcoin, or it looks like any gold coin too. What is this? A bushel of flowers? That is a dead bush. It's a dead bushel of flowers. That does kind of look like a piece of crumpled paper. A lot of these I'm not gonna be able to unsee ever again in my entire life. Okay, it does kind of look like a bunch of chocolates. What is this one? It's a plate. Really? It's a circular plate. Okay, kind of a little bit. We've already seen this one too. This guy is just repeating a bunch of them, but they do kind of look like exactly what he's saying. Yeah, this one does kind of look like hearts, or it looks like a swirly bunch of hearts. That does kind of look like a honeycomb too. Yeah, well that one makes sense. That is a honeycomb block, right? What? Wait, I've never seen this one before. That one's kind of funny. And then you have the one, is that a creeper? No, it's not a creeper. That was weird. What other things have I not seen? Oh, a sakura tree. Oh my gosh, it has like cherry blossoms. What is this one? A hot air balloon? I guess so, if you just like squint really hard. What even is it? Hair? Hair, really? A teddy bear. It's just because you outlined the teddy bear, it doesn't actually look like a teddy bear. What is this? Pasta? It's, I guess, a little bit like pasta. We could call that pasta. They're saying that stick looks like a mutant ninja turtle. Oh no, they're saying it looks like his staff, not the actual mutant ninja turtle. I thought they were trying to say that the stick looked like the mutant ninja turtle. Just act like you did not hear that. What is this? A flower pot is a mug. It's a handleless mug. This next one is teeth. Ew, that's gross. I don't want to look at that and think teeth. And then, oh, that's a gold tooth. Gold, it's not the full teeth, it's just a tooth. Kelp is a tongue. It's a very green tongue. It does kind of look like a tongue though. This looks like a slingshot. Oh yeah, it does look like a slingshot. Okay. I'm starting to like catch on to what he's thinking. This one looks like a present, like a box present. Yes, it does. What else do we have? What is this? Just a, it looks like an emoji. And this one looks like a happy emoji. They do have faces. What else do we have? A chessboard. The scaffolding does a little bit look like a chessboard. This looks like a CD disc that you're placing in a little bit, yeah. If you just don't think of it as being super sharp. This next one, okay, it does kind of look like SpongeBob and is lifting weights. Like, it's not the strongest weights. That does kind of look like chocolate a little bit. This looks like a pet carrier. Sure, we'll go with that one. That does not look like a hook. It is not curvy at all. It looks more like a candle. What is that? Coffee beans? I guess their cocoa beans and coffee beans look really similar. That does kind of look like the bottom of a boot. This is, no, that looks more like a dog turd than anything. Yeah, it looks like a turtle shell helmet, or I guess an army helmet, if we're drawing that comparison. The lollipop kind of does look like that. What is that? A soccer ball? A soccer ball? Really? It's not even black and white. That's not a horn? Actually, a little bit. Okay, no! No, get out of here, Among Us! Gosh, no! The thumbnails on these videos are so clickbait, too. That's not even in Minecraft. What is that? Mickey Mouse? False. All right, that does look like it could be like a tag for an animal. I will give it to him. Okay, that does kind of look like it could be a step stool for a small little girl. You said this looks like a horn, like a video ago. What is that, a magnet? I can buy that. I can get behind that. I'll let that one pass. What is that? The top of somebody's helmet. That's a stretch, bro. What is this? Sushi. No, it does not look like sushi. Actually, if you guys look really close, it kind of looks like a face. I think it's a face. This is an eggplant. It's obviously an eggplant. The ink sac is an eggplant. That's a scarf? A little bit. It could be like a really thick scarf. What's inside of these purple blocks? Ew, no, bro. It does kind of look like that, though. It looks like it's got an 8-pack. That block is jacked. That block has been going to the gym. He's all blocked up. What is that? You said it looks like a chessboard. It could also look like a little tiny table, too. That looks like an easel. Yeah, where you could paint things. What else have I not seen in Minecraft? Blaze powder looks like fire? Yeah, obviously. That does kind of look like a microphone a little bit. A lever does look like a microphone. What is that? Ew. Oh, wait, nori sheets. Okay, so yeah, dried kelp looks like nori sheets. I think that's actually what it is, though, so that makes sense. The baked potato looks like a baked potato. It does not look like a loaf of bread. The pumpkin pie could look like cheese, but that's because they're both in, like, wheel shapes. Okay, cocoa beans could look like chocolate. That's like low-key what they are. That does a little bit look like a Minecraft magnifying glass. That would be cool if it was. The stick looks like Harry Potter's wand. A lot of people actually use it as Harry Potter's wand, I'm pretty sure. Poison or potato looks like rotten cheese. Yes, it does. What is this? Oh, it does kind of look like that cool, like, step stool table thing. That looks like SpongeBob. Of course, it's SpongeBob SquarePants. What's up next? Patrick? Oh, no, it's a bunch of blueberries. And we also have a jukebox that looks like you could toast things in it. I guess so.